too. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now,
all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on a life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had no life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would've been a lot different if I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name, now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas, not knowing that them handcuffs custom made the fence. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. I ain't lying, I was close to dying. Knew I wanted to live, but I wasn't trying. I was defiant, not knowing that this ain't how we live. This just how they design it. Cause when you in them streets, you get more endemic. They don't tell you gonna be on papers and on restrictions. My father said a hard head'll make a soft ass. I didn't care, I wanted fear when I walked past. In a place where a black man's blood is cheap. I thank the Lord for the day I was on Lake Street. Pissing in the cup, back and forth to court. From the DC school, I swear it felt like I cried on that fucking porch. The Lord said, my sheep, they ain't hear my voice. Asked me why I'm UPK, I told them I ain't have a choice. They said God ain't 50-50 and what's gonna come to pass. The Lord called me out the world and I started running fast. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. Go ahead. All I wanted was to be a gangster. It's UPK until it hit the fan. I want power and a throne, nigga, fuck them grams. All I wanted was to be a gangster, but I was real as a righteous man. And now got the upper hand, gotta promote this brand. Correct whole multitudes until they all understand. If I can't get that crown, Lord, then put me in the hands of someone more mighty, make me this hit man. Reminiscing on the pain that was felt. Shit, I was in the jail. Shit, I needed help. But Swan was locked up and the judge put man on the shelf. Heavy crying cause it felt like I was left by myself. All I wanted was to impress niggas with my grinding. Now I ain't trying to prove shit to nobody but Muhammad. Cause most these niggas lie, pump smoke. One time for the Most High, he made me a cutthroat. Cause all I ever wanted was to smash my opponents. Stacking cash, not knowing it wouldn't last. Dear God, I hope you accept my atonement. Cause all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made provoked the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time, and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. I made before the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time when I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a
Rolling on it, what is it?
Purchase your tracks today.
Know the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth and bossed in it, made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. UPK whole court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage? 2 words for soft niggas. What is good riddance? Don't affiliate with feminine symptoms. I know you feel me, nigga. This a death threat to hip hop. You don't stop that weak shit, I'ma mix your lean with some Grimlock. When the last time you heard it this raw? What I wish for's when the earth inherited by the piss poor. We been to war, them the ones I'm taking risks for. Ain't got no picks or no cars to hold. Holy angels watch my steps, them Glock guard my soul. Can't let them leave my body cold. I know you feel me, nigga, let the wicked weep and the meek prevail. God never been 50-50, I shall now awake and sleep a cell. Let the righteous cry, silence the pretender. A rebel without a cause, as long as I remember. Not taking the kingdom, the only thing on my agenda. Can't avoid me, nigga, middle finger to the ones that try to destroy me. Revenge of beauty, I'm a beast. I told the bitch she can't eat, let she join me for dinner. My God ain't got no regard for a sinner. One call fall on him like timber. I know you feel me, nigga. In the eyes of terror, I stand still. Go to work for the colony, bring it back to the anthill. Plus everything I drop, heavy as an anvil. Show you how to stand like a man in this damn field. I know you feel me, nigga. Fuck equality, it gotta be one man win and the rest lose. Wave devastator, I'm calculating my next move. UPK will real niggas seek refuge. Body shots for bars, that'll get you bruised. My niggas home ranker, check your little attitude. I came to fuck up your mood on your little holiday like I'm Mr. Scrooge. Resurrected from the grave, walking from the fall. Visions in my eyes, gripping the mic, screaming God bless the underdog, down by the letter. And live by that protocol, walk by faith, not by sight. Ain't no hope for getting struggles. Life like civil war, resist or get pulled into a world that never left you. I will endure, election will be sure, correction will be swift. No Will Smith, but I am legend. What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on post in every direction. On go like a German shepherd, young and a restless, wear honor like a diamond necklace. I know you feel me, nigga.
Purchase your tracks today.
If Rome ain't on it, what is it?
You understand? You done found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the Lord's statutes and commandments of the Most High. And we don't care care who we got to come up against. You ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of truth to this tree of life. Open up the book just to see I'm right. Reminiscing on my ancestors, on those ships who had to plead for life. Took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Poisoning our foods and put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cause. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite, sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, they'd rather link a chick tonight. Praises to the Most High, I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment, something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, and it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. And if your mind ain't there, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection, a part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Yeah. This is the ISUPK coming out of, we in the Detroit camp. And this is our Thursday morning class. Again, we the ISUPK, Officer Mashah. And the ISUPK, we've been bringing forth the truth to our people since 1969 under Commanding General Yohanan, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And that truth is the so-called blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics, so-called, that is, are the Israelites found in the Bible, and the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. This morning, we're going to be coming to you with some more milk scripture. This Thursday morning class, for those who don't know, I sit here and I go over the milk scriptures. And the reason I do that is because no matter what you're into, I don't care if you are a brain surgeon, a musician, I don't care if you're a school teacher, no matter what you are into, you must have a command of the basics of that milk. If your basics are, if your foundation is not solid, if your foundation is not solid, then the house won't stand. And so on our Thursday morning class, for everybody, if you're new, what we do is go over basic scriptures. And understand, when you get these basic scriptures down, you are going to run into some problems with your relatives, especially if they are in that Christian church. This morning, we're going to deal with something that's super important. Salakia, let me get this sound muted on this computer, because I'm trying to monitor at the same time. There we go. I'm trying to monitor at the same time to make sure the sound is right, to make sure you're getting what we're trying to put out there. And basically, like I was saying, you get these basic scriptures down, and this is going to sound like this is like some really crazy claim, but I found this to be true. You get these basic scriptures down. You come into the ISUPK and you study this Bible from the way the ISUPK teach, the way these generals teach it, the way these captains teach it. You come in here and you learn these scriptures, you will dumbfound any Christian, including their preachers, including their Sunday school teachers, their deacons, whatever office and title they give themselves. You'll be able to do that because basically the Christian church does not teach the Bible the way the Bible teaches itself. The Bible said that if any man speaks, let him speak as the oracles of God. And it also asks the question, who shall I give knowledge? Who shall I give wisdom to? And I'm paraphrasing on these, and they say, him who is weaned from the milk. And that watch this, every teaching must be line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. They teach the craziest things in the Christian world. And just a few of them is, Christ came for everybody. That's a lie. Something else they teach is that it's all right for a woman to be a pastor. That's a lie. And to stand up and rule over men. That's a lie. They tell you in the Christian church that it's all right to vote. That's a lie. They tell you in the Christian church that it's all right to eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. That's a lie. And basically, what the Christian church, when I say Christian, for our so-called African American brothers, so-called, blacks, I'm talking about everything you into. I'm talking about Baptist, Pentecostal, AME, CME, United Methodist, non-denominational. They all teach lies. They all teach lies. For my so-called Hispanic, Native American brothers, I'm talking about Catholicism. Anything Catholic, you see. And for my other brothers and sisters who happen to get into some other form of religion, Islam being the second fastest, second largest, they're really nothing but Christians, and they teach lies as well. So let's get started. This morning, what we're dealing with is the subject of brotherhood. The subject of brotherhood. Get your Bibles, get your pencils, get your ink pens, your paper, and let's get ready to take a few notes. Why we want to deal with brotherhood? Because brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood, you can use, watch this, I don't care where you are in the United States. If you're so-called Black, Native American, Hispanic, if you follow brotherhood in the scriptures, the way it's laid out in the scriptures, you not only can save your life, your family member's life, you can save your community. You can rebuild, begin to rebuild your community. And all the time you're preparing for the return of Yahushua. Brotherhood. Brotherhood, every general, every captain, every trooper, every officer in the ISUPK knows that brotherhood is a weapon. And brotherhood is pretty much commanded in the law. It's in the Bible. It's all over the place. Now, why is brotherhood so important? And Salakia, you see me reaching over here. I got a computer sitting right here where I'm bringing up my not only precepts but everything else, because you know we cover the whole bases in the ISUPK. We cover the whole bases in the ISUPK. So we're not going to just give you a one-sided story. We actually going to give you what the enemy comes at us with. What the enemy comes to you and what they use to keep you enslaved in your mind. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, evil wickedness in high places. Again, and that's your mind. Believe it or not, it's all up here. This is where they've attacked you. Of course, we've been attacked physically. We've been lynched, hung, murdered in the streets today. And a lot of it is because we ignore the Bible's call to brotherhood. To brotherhood. There is oftentimes in the media, there is a call to say that we in the ghettos and the barrios on the reservations are the most dangerous, that we are super violent, we are worst enemies to ourselves. That's what white America would have you believe. And for the most part, we've bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. And we can thank that knucklehead, Michael King. Y'all know him as Martin Luther King Jr. Y'all know him as Martin Luther King Jr. We can thank him and that whole so-called civil rights movement for us falling for that nonsense. I remember as a boy, little bitty boy, I'm closer to 100 than I am to 10. I remember as a little bitty boy that every time daddy or mama loaded us up in the car in that little town out there called Inkster, You know, we lived in that black part of Houston where everything around us was black. The businesses was black, the churches was black, the doctors were black, the nurses were black, hell, the policemen were black. And they lived on the same street that we lived on. This is before integration moved in. So I can give you a time reference. Before integration moved in, before Martin came, every time we jumped into my daddy's little 1964 Dodge station wagon, and we would leave the community, we would get to a place, either Westland or Wayne, or going in towards the east, going towards Detroit, we would get to Dearborn Heights, and these areas were predominantly white. And so we would instinctively reach over, put the elbow on the door lock. If the window was down and it was hot, we would roll it up just enough for a little air to get in. And us children would sit in that back seat and be super quiet. We knew we were leaving our neighborhood, and we knew we was going into enemy territory. I don't remember mama or daddy particularly sitting us down and telling us this. I don't remember that. But it was as if they passed it on to us through our DNA, or instinctively. We knew to sit back and be quiet because these white folks could lose their mind at any time. And mama and daddy was responsible. Daddy and mama was responsible for making sure we stayed safe and went through this ordeal of these white folks. Things have changed. Nowadays, you go through the white folks' town, you got your windows down, your music playing, you're leaning real hard in your car, and then when you get to the hood, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you get to the hood, that's when you what? Roll up your windows, you lock your doors, and all of that. Now, my question is that absolutely necessary? Is that absolutely necessary? In other words, are we less safe in our own neighborhoods? If white America has anything to say about it, if the general public has anything to say about it, of course, we are less safe in our own neighborhood. Now, that's a lie. And this morning, what we got for you, and we still talking about brotherhood. And what we're going to do, I want to run through something. I ran across something. I was doing some research and ran across something, and it just blew me away. In fact, it's a story. Let me read this. It's a story from the website Racism in America. And the story is the truth about FBI crime statistics by race. And I'm going to read just a little bit. Again, this is from the website Racism in America, and it's racisminamerica.org. That's the spot I really got this from. I'm going to read just a little bit of this story. And some things, you know, we got some understanding on. So I won't comment on folks who we're not in line with and all that, and we know they're being used. But this is what the story said: the truth about FBI crime statistics by race. As more exposure is being given to the unjustified killing of black men by white police officers, the Black Lives Matter movement is gaining momentum. Consequently, many contend that the movement isn't warranted because police officers murdering black people isn't the real issue, but instead crime committed by blacks. As a matter of fact, the notion that blacks are perpetrating the most crime in this country is said to be the real reason that police are obligated to scrutinize and even target them. Now let's start right there. The story gives you a little narrative as to why and what's going on. Why the police have to target us. Why the police have to scrutinize us more than they scrutinize anybody else. They said because we commit all of the crimes, we commit most of the crime. I'm sure you've heard that we're only 12% of the population, and yet we are the largest population in prison. And that's a fact. That's a fact. We are the largest prison population in the United States. So-called blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics. We make up the prison population when you really take a look at it. And so the powers that be, the media, and all these other outlets, they say, well, this is the real reason. This is the real reason blacks, Hispanics, and natives have so much trouble in America. Well, let's keep on reading the story and see what they have to say about this. However, according to the FBI crime statistics about race, it is not blacks who are driving criminal activity. In other words, the FBI keeps the statistics. The FBI keep the statistics. And they can tell you exactly who are committing the crimes. Now I got two tables. One is the 2014 actual FBI statistics for crimes in 2014. And I'm not going to use that one because we want to be most up to date. And what we are using is the statistics from 2016. This is just 2 years ago. Takes about 2 years to get these statistics out. 2016. Okay. Let's start, and I'm going to show you something. This is crazy. I'm looking at it. It's table 21A. If you go to FBI.gov and search through there, you'll come up right on this 2016 crime in the United States. This is the Criminal Justice Information Service Division. Again, this is the FBI, and this is the table for arrests. I didn't find one for convictions. I don't know that the FBI tracks that. But this is what they have. Total crime. Total crime. Did you know so-called blacks, African Americans, of all the crime committed in the United States, they commit 26.9%, according to the 2016 FBI statistics. Wow. White folks, 69.6%. So, understand that you have been tricked, bamboozled. In fact, there's only a couple of areas that the so-called black man is leading. Now, this seems hard, but think about it. These are arrests. Murder and negligence or non-negligent manslaughter. Blacks 52%, whites 44%. And there ends the leading, where blacks lead in crime. Pretty much, that's it. Every other crime on the face, on the earth, of every other crime in America. Let's go to rape. Rape. Now they I know I got women in my family that's just so deathly scared of black men, right? Because what? We get drunk, we get high, and we gonna rape them, right? That's not what the FBI statistics say. Of the rapes committed in America, 67.6 committed by white men. 29.1 presented by is committed by black men. That's a significant difference. But of those in jail, just like Cosby just went to prison, even though Harvey Weinstein and a whole bunch of other folks, I remember years ago when they was talking about that crazy actor Woody Allen, the one who him and his wife adopted a girl, raised the child up, and then Woody Allen ended up marrying that girl. It's not us. It's not us. Let's look at another one. Aggravated assault, blacks 33%, whites 62.8%. Burglary, whites 68.4%, blacks 29.1%. Larceny, whites 69%, blacks 27.7%. Motor vehicle theft, you know, carjackings, 66% white, 30.7% black. Violent crime overall, 59% white people, 37.5% black people. You know what? Sound like the black community is pretty safe. It's pretty safe. Property crimes, 68.7% whites and 28.1% blacks. It goes on and on and on. Stolen property, weapons. We got carrying weapons possession. We're a little close to them. 55.9% whites, 41.8% blacks. Watch this. We call our women whores. Who's the real whores? Prostitution and commercialized vice. 55.5% white folk, 37.9% blacks. And listen to the sex offenses other than rape and prostitution. 71.6% white people and 24.7%. You know how they say we all drugged up and everything? Check this out. Drug abuse violations. 71% white folks, 26.7% black folks. Offenses against family and children. 67.1% white folks. Well, y'all knew about that, the Catholic priest. And 29.1%. And even if we get to something like DUIs, driving under the influence, 82.2%. White folks, 13.6%. Black folks. And yet it's so hard for us to get our license back. Liquor laws, 79.2 for whites, 14.5. That's, you know, what they call them after hour joint, the bootleg house. Yeah, white folks been doing that. Drunkenness, 76.5 for whites, 14.7 for blacks. Now, you know, if we get any place near disorderly conduct, we may end up dead. But it's 63.3% of the disorderly conduct arrests to white folks and only 32.2 to black folks. So, the question is, why? If this is the actual statistics, why do even we believe, damn what America believes, but why do we believe we are the most violent, we are the most criminal, we are the worst of the worst? Why do we believe that? And the answer is we do not walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And the biggest law, one of the biggest laws, statutes, commandments we don't walk in is in brotherhood. We'll believe something that somebody else will say about us before we believe our own brother or sister. And there's something wrong with that. We need to get into brotherhood. Let's look at some of these scriptures. I'm gonna go back to that story, the truth about FBI crime statistics. For a quick second, we're gonna get into some scriptures. Now, the importance of brotherhood. Let's start with 1 John 4 and 20. Write that down. 1 John 4 and 20. This is how important brotherhood is to the Most High. 1 John 4:20 reads as follows. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? Verse 21, and this commandment have we from him, from the Most High, that he who loveth God love his brother also. That's the first thing. You running around here. There's a brother out of Houston, I think 5th Ward. I don't know how old this song is, but when I came across it, I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was one of the best things I've heard in rap in a long, long time. And it's by a brother named Willie D. He got a song called Coon. And in this song, he say, if your criticism of the black community is more than your contribution to the black community, and you're black, you're a coon. So Nate of that fake Israelite group talking about damn Trayvon Martin, you a coon. You a goddamn coon. Talking about going into people's neighborhoods, talking about if you got a warrant, I'm gonna call the police. You a coon. Like Captain Katazar said, nigga, Jesus Christ had a warrant. You selling your own people out for 30 shekels. 30 pieces of goddamn silver. You a coon. That's not loving your brother. And the Most High requires us to love our brother. He requires, say, if we call ourselves hating our brother and we say we love him, we are liars. We're liars. We're just not telling the truth. Now, you might believe it. You can go out here and you hating on black folks at every turn. You might believe you are right, but the Most High got you in his sights now. And his anger is being kindled against you because you hate your own brother. Simply because you hate your own brother. Now, this gets so serious that over in Matthew 25, we see Yahushua talking. And I'm going to paraphrase some of it, and then I'm going to read the scripture. Yahushua said, time is going to come when you're going to put some on his left, some on his right. Some are going to be like the goats, and some are going to be like the sheep. You see. And he's going to say to those who are on the wrong side, inasmuch as you didn't do this unto me. He asked him, he said to these folks, look, I was in prison, you didn't come visit me. I was sick, you ain't come to visit me. I was hungry, you ain't feed me. I was thirsty, you ain't give me no water. And I'm paraphrasing. But it's in Matthew 25. You can write that down and go read this. And you didn't feed me. And these folks going to look at him and say, when did we see you like this? When did we see you hungry? When did we see you thirsty? When did we see you naked? When would we see you in prison? Or when you was in the hospital, you were sick? And when did we didn't even see you like that. And he said, inasmuch as you've done it didn't do it unto the least of these my brethren, you didn't do it unto me. So, again, brotherhood is not just about not harming our brother. It's about, do our brother need help? And let me show you what that speaks to. You know that brother that be at the gas station? Brother be at the gas station, look, can I get 50 cents? It's kids, a lot of kids starting to do this now. Children starting to do this now. You got $1, I'm trying to get some food for me and my brother. My mom, you know, she at work and she doing the best she can, and you know, she not home and we need some food. Children, you know, on bicycles, children. And most of us, and you know what we do, black folk, and I ain't even talking about folks outside of Israel. Most of us turn away from these folks. I watch it when I ride the bus. A brother and sister get on the bus, you can tell they're having hard times and kind of dirty, a little smelly, and they'll sit down and the whole bus will move. You know, everybody in the bus will move from where they sitting at 3 or 4 seats away. 3 or 4 seats away. I've even seen the bus driver stop and make them get off. And they're just trying to make it in this world. They're just trying to make it in this white man's world. They may not be in the truth. But I was listening to General Muhammad. He was breaking down miracles, and the brother at the pool, and he came to him and said, you know, would you be healed? And the man replied, well, there's no man the Lord made the water when the angel troubleth the water. Then the man was told, pick up your bed and walk. But the general broke that down in such a way. He asked the question, why was that man laying at that pool for them 30 years? However long, all them years he was laying there. And why could only one person, the first person in the water, be healed? Why could only one person be healed? This is talking of brotherhood. This is brotherhood. Watch this now. Watch this. Why could only one person be healed? What kind of cruel joke is this? You know, the angel come down, trouble this water, and only the first person get in the water and heal. And here's this brother laying here. He can't walk, can't get up. And one of the troopers, the officers in the general class, got the answer right from the start. And I missed it. I would have missed it. And the answer was, the Lord wanted to see. He didn't trouble the water one time just so that particular person can be healed. But he wanted to see what type of brotherhood was going to be displayed in Israel. What I mean, who was going to stop and pick this brother up who was worst off? Who was going to stop and pick him up and put him in that water so he could be healed? See, everybody that got in the water before him was less afflicted than him. Their malady was less severe. Hell, they could walk. They could crawl. This brother's leg didn't work. If he was going to crawl, he had to use just his hands. Captain LeBon was showing me a story. I'm going to go back and look at it about a young brother who was born with a malady where he had either little tiny legs or little tiny feet, but he's all upper body. And they named him Zion. And I'm going to go back and look at that. But the point is, who is going to help this man? That's why he did that. And everybody failed the test. Everybody walked over this man. That little boy Zion, when he was a little boy, guess what? His parents didn't want him. He was put up for adoption. They failed the test. The question is, in brotherhood, are we failing the test? Are you failing the test? Who you walking over at the gas station? Who you turning your nose up on the bus? Who you pass by in your pretty car that's on the corner looking like you and me? Inasmuch as you've done it unto the least of these, my brethren. Matthew 25:40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So whatever you do to your brothers and sisters, yes, sisters, I got to get on y'all too. If you're going to be running around here, let me explain something. If you run around here in your little girly girl meetings, and your girly girl meetings consist of mostly talking about your husband and his faults, no, that don't work. You might as well be doing it unto Yahweh Shah himself. Stop that. Stop that. Remember, the older women, you're responsible for teaching the younger women how to love their husbands, how to love their children, how to be responsible. Go over and read 2 Timothy. How to be responsible. In fact, let me go get that. Let me go get that. 1 Timothy. And boom, boom, boom. Corinthians, Ephesians. Ecclesiastes. Salakia. Pull that up on my Bible. I thought I had that in my notes. Salakia. But the sisters, stop that nonsense. Stop that nonsense. Let me go back. What you're responsible for is to teach these young sisters. How to love their husbands. Not to be sitting up in these little meetings talking about your husband. Not that. How to love your husband, how not only to please him, but to help him. You're here to be a help to him. See, that's brotherhood too, in itself. That's brotherhood in itself. If my wives decide that all they're going to get together for is to talk about me and to complain about me, instead of trying to figure out how to build what the Most High has given us to build as a family, what each one of their parts and how they can work together, you see, then that's going against brotherhood. That's going against the brotherhood. So stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Now to get back to these brotherhood scriptures. We've been commanded to love one another. John 13, starting at the 34th verse, says, "A new commandment I give you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. And by this shall men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have loved one another." Now watch this. I love being a part of this Detroit Cat. Love these brothers here, and Captain LeBon, and Officer Dariala, Officer Shawak, how they have raised me up. I know I'm older physically, but I'm still, that's why I deal with the milk scriptures, because I'm still pretty young. I got one Passover under my belt and 2 Day of Atonement. Pray the Most High, Most High in Christ. But these brothers have shown love like I've never seen in my life. And understand that the love of God is that you keep the commandments, law, statutes, and commandments. Now, that's what God really loves. So it's not like they running around here coddling us as we come off the street. It's not like they giving us a whole lot of warm and fuzzies, but what they're doing is raising us up in this truth. We walk contrary as we fight our demons, and they bring it to our face, and they tell us, and they help us get them demons up out of us. No excuses, and so we have to fight them. No woe is me and poor me and all of that. No, this is true love. And I've watched this cat, when I say help brothers, including me, become men for the Most High, to become priests for the Most High, prophets of the Most High, to walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's real love right there. And I'm not talking about, how the Christians like to do. They'll beat you up they'll beat you up with the Bible. They'll just beat you, and then they don't really know what they're talking about. But they just throw it at you. Check your countenance, mighty man. Check your countenance. I know I just checked you about this or that, but watch your countenance now. Don't let that spirit of Cain fall on you. Brotherhood, they love here hard in Detroit. I love the brothers down in Chicago too. They love hard in Chicago. Well, the whole Midwest. I don't know if y'all get out here a lot. The whole Midwest, these some loving brothers here. They love each other, and I would, as Captain Acosta saying that, I will die or kill for any one of these brothers. That's what this new commandment is all about. And here's the big thing: everybody knows in the Detroit general area, wherever we go, that we belong to the Most High. You know how they know? By the way we love one another. By the way we con a man that's 5 minutes over me. It might be the same rank, but he got there 5 seconds before I did. Khan. How we love and respect one another. They know we are different everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. The Bible says itself, by this, all men, not some men, all men, whether you're on your job, whether you're at the supermarket, whether you're out at the mall, whether you out just catching a movie, out playing basketball at the gym, by this shall all men know, whether they Chinese men, whether they Arabs, whether they Jewish, whether they Edomites, whether they Africans, they do not bother with us. They see one, they know they got a bunch more to deal with because we love one another. Watch this, openly. We love one another openly. Now, how did we get all into all this mixed up? Why do we our opinion of ourselves and one another varies so much? Well, understand that we violated the law, statutes, commandments. Our forefathers violated the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. Read Deuteronomy 28, all of it. Had we not violated, we would have been placed on high above all the people from the face of the earth. But since we went chasing after other people, since we went whoring after other gods, since what the Most High had for us and our fathers' mindset wasn't good enough, and they turned their back, then he promised that some curses would pursue us and overtake us. And we're living now those curses. We're living now those curses. And those curses have followed us forever, which really just means a long time. They've been with us a long, long time. They followed us from the desert, from the time we ever first got kicked out the promised land. Them curses, because we've been so hard-headed that we have not come back to these laws, statutes, commandments as a people. That's the bottom line. And there are different methods by which these curses has followed us. When we're looking at this brother, here's just one of the methods that has followed us. I'm going to tell you, it's been psychological warfare against us since we got in this country. There's a letter, I'm sure many of us heard of it. The Black community, they heard of it. It's called the Willie Lynch letter, the Willie Lynch letter. And what this does, it's a psychological tool that was given to slave owners so that they can make a Negro, make a slave. Cardinal principles of making a Negro. And I'm going to read just a little bit of what I have in front of me. I don't have the actual letter. Actually, I hate to do it this way. but it's reprinted on another website. If you put in Willie Lynch letter, you'll find it. And I'm just reading a little bit. Let's Make a Slave. That's the first. That's the first title. Well, here's the actual letter. Greetings, gentlemen. The infamous Willie Lynch letter. Greetings. And here's the preface to it. This speech was said to have been delivered by Willie Lynch on the banks of the James River in the colony of Virginia in 1712. Lynch was a British slave owner in the West Indies. He was invited to the colony of Virginia, to the United States, in 1712 to teach his methods to slave owners here. Greetings. Gentlemen, I greet you here on the banks of the James River in the year of our Lord, 1712. First, I shall thank you, the gentlemen of the colony of Virginia, for bringing me here. I am here to help you solve some of your problems with slaves. That was us, okay? Native Americans and the so-called Mexicans. Here's some things I want to highlight. In my bag here, and I'm going to be skipping through, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee that every one of you, that if installed correctly, it will control the slave for at least 300 years. This was in 1712. This is now 300 years later. It will be 2012. It is now 2018. And though they outlawed slavery on paper, 1863, they gave us the Emancipation Proclamation. Many of us are still on the plantation in 2018. He goes on to say, I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. You hear that? I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. Nothing's changed today. Nothing's changed today. The news media, why do you think if white folks commit 67% of the crime according to the FBI, and white folks only 29%, so why do we only see crimes committed by so-called blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics on television news every day? It's to breed distrust. It's to breed fear. And what? Among us, about us. We are to fear ourselves. We are to distrust ourselves. We to envy. And then watch this. They show things like evil black men getting all this money. And so we're to envy. That's what they use. He goes on to point out there is intelligence, size, sex, size of plantation, status on the plantation, attitude of owners, whether the slave live in the valley or on the hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. These are some differences. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. But before that, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy is stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch. Here we go. The old against black man versus the young black man. That what we do every day. These young niggas out here. These young niggas out here. You know how the ISUPK has reversed that. I got officers as young as my grandchildren that's over me. And I say Khan Alawar Khan, and I don't feel no kind of way about it. You know why? Because I'm required by the ISUPK, the officers that raised me up. to go by these laws, statutes, and commandments, and this is brotherhood. That's my brother. The Most High got him here first. The Most High raised him up. It ain't like he kissed behind to get a rank raise. You can't do that here. You might can do that at the slave, but you can't do that in ISUPK. The Most High raised him up. And if he an 18-year-old captain, I'm going to say Khan, Alawar Khan, that's brotherhood. Pitch the old. This is what Bully Lynch said. Pitch the old black male versus the young black male. And the young black male against the old black male. These young brothers, like I said, I got officers right here. I'm the oldest by age in the Detroit camp. And these young officers over me have no problem coming to me and say, Mashah, what do you think? I got this going on. Brotherhood. They walk these laws, statutes, commandments. At the same time, the same brother might come back to me and say, Mashah, didn't I? Let's get that done, Hebrew, before you start doing some push-ups around here. Same brother. That's brotherhood. Because what? We follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We love one another. We correct one another. We forgive one another. You must use the dark-skinned slave versus the light-skinned slave. And the light-skinned slave versus the dark-skinned slave. You must use the female versus the male. And the male versus the female. You must also have white servants and overseers who distrust all blacks. You hear that? Who distrust all blacks. Why do you think we say the white man's the devil, the Bible speaks of? Because he'll sit up here, she'll sit up here and be your wife, lay in the bed with you. I know you brothers don't believe this, but I'm telling you the truth. These white women that sit up here and lay in the bed with you, and she don't trust you no farther than she can throw you. It's already bred in her. She don't trust you, and she's just waiting for the opportunity to call you a damn lazy ass nigga. And when she has the power around her where you cannot slap her upside the head, don't be surprised when she pull that off. Don't be surprised. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. And that means only on them, on the white man. Let me explain something. When you know these laws, statutes, and commandments, when you study this Bible, especially in the ISUPK, watch this. You will find out some things. You go to Salakia, you go to Deuteronomy 28. And I'm looking for that scripture. Deuteronomy 28:48. Listen to this. Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall bring against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon your neck. What the Lynch said over here, right? Most of all. But it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend only on us, the white man. They must love, respect, and trust only us. This is how this biggest curse to our brotherhood, one of the ways it's come to us. You see how that parallels with the Bible? Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. In all things. Where do you get your water from? From the white man. The government can have that water shut off in a second. And you cut it back on, he'll put you in jail. They so crazy in Michigan, they catch you collecting rainwater, they'll arrest you. You can't grow your own chickens in Detroit. So you get your food and eggs from where? You go down to the Arab grocery store that the white man let him have. That's where you get them from. You get your food from him. You get your, and if you don't have any businesses, so we don't give ourselves jobs, so we depend on them for our jobs, our livelihood. Today, this Willie Lynch letter is in full effect. And they pay us what? Black men get paid 67% of what white men get paid to do the same job. Black women get paid 64% of what white men get paid to do the same job. So we depend on them for our livelihood, we depend on them for our food, in want of all things. We depend on them for our clothes. In nakedness, we're going to serve them nakedness. If they don't give us clothes, we ain't got nothing to put on. We're talking about brotherhood. We're talking about brotherhood. Because we turn our back on the Most High, we have no brotherhood, except for in the ISUPK. That's where you find your brotherhood at, right here. Right here. I've not been in want of anything since the first day I came into the Detroit camp. Not a thing. I know brothers who came here single fathers, dragging their children. Now watch how the Most High changed their lives. And it's not individual. This school, he's growing this school because of the brotherhood. Went out here because of stuff like this psychological warfare, because of the eugenics projects, because of Planned Parenthood, because of the propagation of the lie that the black woman don't need a black man by the feminists, the white feminists. Sisters are angry with men. We the only people that got women running around. Their women running around talking about ain't no good black man nowhere. Chinese man ain't say that. Arab man don't say that. The Arab woman, the Chinese woman, the Vietnamese woman, the white woman, they don't say that. Only the so-called black, Native American, Hispanic woman ain't no good man among my people, so I'm gonna go and marry the other nation. Don't you believe it? There's a bunch of marriageable men right here in ISUPK because this is the home of the truth. And the sisters are angry with the brothers are angry with the sisters, the brothers are angry with each other. Matthew 5, and you have no cause. We have no cause to be angry with one another. Really. Have no cause. Because it's all been a lie, it's all been a trick by the white man to pit us against one another. Here's the best part about it. The Most High said, my sheep hear my voice. The Most High is calling us back into these laws, statutes, and commandments to walk in this brotherhood. When we walk in this brotherhood, we understand that brothers make mistakes. We forgive. He says, Salakia, it won't happen again. And we say, come. Sisters make mistakes. And we come down on them, we fuss a little bit, and they say, Salakia, and we say, that's all right. Let's keep it moving. We don't hold grudges. Don't do it, because it requires us not to. Matthew 5:22 say, but I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. So what you really mad with your brother about because you ain't got a job? What you really mad with your husband about because the white man has kept his foot on his neck since the day he came out of his mama's womb? And he only been able to raise his head up enough to get a job, making a little bit more than minimum wage? What you really mad with your sister about? Because she came up in an era where the only head to the house was females, and so she's kind of out of control with the twisting of the neck and the tinkling of the ankle, the twisting of the head and the tinkling from the ankle, and they're mincing about. We need to save them. And we love them by preaching this truth to them, by teaching this truth to them. Teaching this truth to them. And they hard-headed, but you know, we all know, ain't no woman stronger than a Judite woman. I might be a little bit biased being a Judite. They something else. They're hard to handle, but it takes real men. Can't be no effeminate, emotional, please with Mr. White Man, psychologist, help my wife see things my way. You can't be that type of fella. You got to be a Judite walking according to these laws, statutes, commandments, and then your wife or wives will be there. They're going to give you hell. But that's their demons and your demons to get rid of. Their demons, you know, I got daughters, got nieces that bring themselves under my authority. You know, Christ is the head of the man is the head of the woman, and the Most High is the head of Christ. And brother was teaching me, said, that's your niece. I said, her demons will be yours if you want them. Her demons will be yours if you want them. You man enough to marry her, look at here. I understand what the gentleman was talking about. And I'm not mad at my daughters. I'm not mad at my sisters. I'm not mad at my nieces. I love them. But we do face reality. And I pick a man for him. He's going to have to be in this truth. He's going to have to be in this truth. You see? Because this is the only place. This is the only place where we're going to be able to practice that brotherhood that's the weapon to protect us. Why do you think so many black men and women now being killed indiscriminately in the streets by white people? Like we don't matter no more than a deer in hunting season in Michigan. Oh, shot a black man, oh well. We're going to send you to some classes and you got to study about how to better use a firearm. And, you know. When we come together, like I said, we can walk anywhere. In the ISUPK, we walk anywhere. And we don't run into problems. We, you know, brothers talk about everything. Brotherhood. That brotherhood is a weapon. With brotherhood, we can turn our community around. With a handful of brothers. With a handful of brothers that practice in brotherhood, we can turn the entire community around economically. Just by practicing brotherhood. We are required by the Most High to love one another. John 15, 12 through 14. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no man than this, that a man lay down his life for a friend. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. The brotherhood comes when you walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. The white man has used all type of psychological tools against us to get us to hate each other. And for the most part, they've been pretty much effective. Pretty much effective. Back on the plantation, they used the house nigga versus the slave, the field nigga. They used the light skin versus the dark skin, the tall versus the short, the woman versus the man versus the woman, the skinny versus the heavy set. Every angle. Look at this. I don't care. And just check it around your so-called white associates. I know y'all don't have white friends, but check your white associates and just test this out. Get into a conversation to where you're defending black people. And I bet you that white person will come up with a but. Yeah, but you know, if you go to the east side, yeah, but if you go over there to Southwest Detroit, the Mexicans, they got a perpetual hatred against us. And so what they do, they actively and continuously try to breed that hatred that they have of you, of me, into us so that we hate ourselves. It's kind of like And the way I understand it, when I used to sell, this was so funny, I used to sell mobile homes to white people. A nigga in southeast Detroit selling mobile homes to hayseeds, to hillbillies, to rednecks. And got pretty decent at it, But what I was a consummate salesman. I saw white people, I was trying to sell a mobile home. I don't care if they lived in a mansion. I was always selling, always selling, always selling, always selling, always selling. What's my point? My point is this. That's how white folks are. They're always selling you the concept to hate and distrust one another. Even your white girlfriend, even your white wife, even your white boyfriend, your white wife. What that basketball owner tell his black girlfriend? Don't bring them niggas around here. Don't want them around here. You up here, you got a baby by Edomite, and you doing your thing and everything, and you help growing your child up, and you may or may not still be with her, but I'm sure you've heard the conversation, look, I don't want your boys around here. I don't want your boys around here. They just hoods. They come by the house and lie. I don't know what's wrong with old Bobby over there. What's wrong with Jamal? Can't he do something? What the hell she got an opinion about him for? And I know, watch this. Like I say, if you be around them long enough, if you pay attention according to these law, statute, commandments, and get this ISUP perspective, which is what? The Lord's perspective. He that speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. What the scriptures say. The scriptures say they have a perpetual hatred for us. Because you have had a perpetual hatred for your brother. They've been trying to destroy us forever. Since Jacob and Esau bumped heads. These Edomites been trying to get at us and destroy us. And they read these scriptures, they know that Obadiah said, no mercy. None for the Edomite. And so what he does, he's constantly selling his plan for us to hate ourselves. Why? Because they know that as long as we stay outside of these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, that the Most High won't be our protection. So when you hear us in the ISUPK talking about we don't fear this or we don't fear that, it's not that, we can handle ourselves. That's for sure. But we have the protection of the Most High because we walk in these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's why. It's not us. In the words, Captain Katazar, Captain Tazariak, I ain't shit. I ain't shit. Lucky, but I ain't. There's folks who knew me when. They'll tell you, no, that nigga ain't about nothing. No, shit, no, he ain't shit. But I have the protection of the Most High because I've repented from that way of life. And I submit myself to the Most High. And in submitting ourselves to the Most High and studying these laws, studying these laws, statutes, commandments, it's all about the Most High getting the praise. Get you one more scripture on brotherhood. It's about brotherhood. And here it is. The biggest argument white folks say, well, about black on black crime. Let me show you how to diffuse that in an instant. It's in the scripture. It's called forgiveness. It's called forgiveness. I ain't gonna be happy if you steal my car, but I ain't gonna shoot you. I ain't gonna shoot you. I ain't gonna be happy if my cousin over my house and he get mad and start acting a fool or get a little too drunk and start acting a fool. I'm not finna call the police on him. I don't care when these young brothers come up with. I don't care what he tripping out on. I'm not finna call the police on him. Matthew 18, 21 through 22. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, talking to Yahushua, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Yahushua said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Every time the white man, the white woman, or even the Arab man, I listen to them. These Arabs start doing that shit too. Yeah, you are right, but that nigga over there. Every time they present their case, they try to get you to hate your brother. They try to get you to fight against your brother. They try that. All of them. Watch this. Nobody's excluded. Your Korean wife, all you brothers in the military, been over to Korea, Germany, and you brought back one of them women. Even while you was over there in the military with brothers right there, making money, taking care of her girlfriend, still he wasn't good enough because all she wanted you to do was to hate your brother, come between you and your brother. Whether you was in Korea, Germany, Japan, as far as they're concerned, you the only good nigga they know. The rest of them ain't worth the shit, and they want you to know that. And you know, in the past, we bought into that. Oh, the white man patted me on the back, gave me a bone. I must be the good nigga. We don't buy into that no more. Law, statute, and commandments. 70 times 7. If your brother even offends you, 70 times 7. It's not the number 490 that's really important here. Because you know what's going to happen? If you start trying to keep up with how many times your brother offended you, you're going to lose count around 5, 6. God damn it, was that 6? Was that 5? Or was it 8? You ain't going to even get... So it's not about the number, it's just you forgive him all the time. You forgive her. You forgive her, you forgive him. And watch this. If we learn that, if we learn that we just look at the brother and sister and forgive them, we forgive one another, guess what? A whole bunch of this shit they use against us won't work. Well, I forgave him already. I'm done with it. Why are you still talking about it, Mr. African? Why are you still talking about it? I'm done with it. Why are you still talking about it, Mr. White Man? Don't bring that shit up to me no more. In fact, why are you in my family's business? Why are you in family business? You see. This is brotherhood. This is brotherhood. I'm going to read that one more time. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? And Yahushua said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but 70 times 7. 70 times 7. When you learn to forgive your brother, when you put it in your heart to have forgiveness at the forefront of your tongue, when you ready to forgive as quick as you ready to shoot a nigga over stepping on your shoes, you start changing your community, beginning with yourself. When you can be so ready to forgive as quick as you are to cuss somebody out because they got your order wrong at Burger King, then you're walking in these laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. And your example is going to cause others to walk into these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And when enough of us, you hear me, Israel? Yasharala, when enough of us start walking in these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and the Commander General Yohanan, in this ISUPK, then Yahushua will come back. Yahushua will come back. That's my time. I know I'm going a little short, but I got orders. to be ready to go someplace else. I got orders. That's how we do it. That's brotherhood. Khan Alawat Khan. So when we say Shalom Israel, Shalom Israel. Remember brotherhood. Walk in brotherhood. Brotherhood is a weapon. Without it, these white folks, these Arabs, these Africans, these Chinese and Japanese will have us turning on each other and believing everything they say about us, when all we need to do is love one another. That's brotherhood. And again, this is the ISUPK coming to you out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, started in 1969 under Commanding General. Pay your tithes. Shalom, Israel.
Trying to find something to follow. Had loyalty, every man tried to borrow. Felt pain and a lot of sorrow. Got betrayed, so packed, I didn't even have my heart broke. Living confused, about to lose hope. Cops got me on the side of the road like a sideshow. Need an antidote before I croak. Now I'm setting fire to Rhythm Man blues, call this guitar smoke. Rebel with no cause, trying to find direction. The world got me vexed. Picked up a bad liquor habit that's hereditary from oppression. Felt like my life was on fire, trying to find an exit. Now look, 10 G's plus a good record. Sometimes a follower is a soldier, trying to find a good shepherd. Plus when you in hell, how do you excel? Wisdom the breath of life, I don't believe in fairy tale. Listen well to what I tell. No calling can cause pain, something that a rebel knows very well. Can't you tell I was sent from the Lord? Got a tongue like a two-edged sword with